Why do they always come right to me in the start of the game? Like, I have distortion and all, yet somehow they always just come right to me and get a free hook. Really bad at playing nurse in the doctor map. Leary's. Poor puppy, hope he's just happy knowing he's loved by you. I mean, he's chilling. Like, that's the hard part, is like, it doesn't look like he's suffering. He just looks like sluggish, tired. And he sleeps, but it doesn't look like he's in pain. Wow, bro, this guy's really gonna attack AFK player and then tunnel, straight tunnel. Alright, he's getting hit with snowballs. That's why it's hard to make the decision to put him down, because like right now, it's like he's still got life in him. It's not like he's not at that point yet. Well, especially not now, like, it doesn't seem that way after starting the meds. It almost seemed like that way, like, before I started them, but because he was having seizures every day. But once I put him on the meds, that like I haven't seen him have a seizure. Anyway, it's like a day-to-day thing. But he lays there like very calm and like slow breathing. And I keep thinking, like, every time I look over at him or I wake up and look at him, I keep thinking I'm gonna find him just dead. But he's still there. Because he's like breathing so slow and not moving. He just was like, I don't know. Anyway, could you explain to me how I can get better at the map? Leary's with Nurse, of course. Wish I could play a match with you. There's 2 spots open. Free to play. I'm just gonna pop these. I'm just gonna pop these hexes anyway. Even though I know this is gonna expose everyone. Because the randoms are gonna do it.
Freddy is just letting me do all the gens.
Why?
Because he's bad.
Who's this Kate?
Oh. Fuck, I don't know what's real and what's not. It's kind of unfortunate, I won't lie. This one is.
This gave Kate Devour Hope. Getting ruined now. Leary's is a tough one. You know, I used to say Leary's was the hardest map for Nurse. But at this point for me, the hardest map is Hawkins. But I think that's because I'm just not familiar with it really. Like, I don't know the layout. Leary's I still find to be like a big maze. But I know it more than Hawkins. Like, I can recognize areas and obviously I can recognize the middle of the map. And like I've done really well on Leary's before, but I've also done really bad on it. So the way to play that map, I mean, there's a lot of things. Obviously you want to like try to hold a 3 gen, find the 3 closest gens, and play like, I think I think the key to playing Nurse on a lot of maps, and this is probably the same with all killers, but I just mostly play Nurse, but I think one of the keys is to pick an area of the map and play that one side of the map and try not to go elsewhere. Like, for him in this case, like Freddy, right? He probably should just ignore this gen here because it's so far from the rest. Then again, he can teleport to gens, so maybe it's different. But you see how, like, these 3 gens here are all, like... They're not necessarily, like, extremely close, but... they're the 3 closest, while that one is, like, way out there. You know, this is all that he has left, is... this area to try to protect. So, like... with Nurse, it's definitely something you want to try to do is... find the area of the map that has the most cluster of gens and play around that area. And then also, you don't want to give any unhooks for free, so don't necessarily like just camp a hook, but try to hook your survivors somewhere near those gens that you're defending. And play in a way where you're kind of defending those gens, but you're also defending that hook. Because if you can catch somebody coming to that hook and down them, or at least you got to injure them before they get to it and at least get a trade. But ideally you want to catch somebody coming to the hook and down them, so now you have one on a hook and one slug. And you have to build pressure by slugging. Quit Rainbow Six Siege because the game was so buggy. I never played that. I heard a lot about it and was considering it, and I just never got it. So Leary's is... that's in general. But Leary's is a little different, and I would say the same thing's going to apply to Hawkins. And it has to do with using sound a lot and scratch marks. So what's really hard about that map is like there's no line of sight. So let me see if I could try to explain this, right? It'd be easier to show it with Nurse, but let me just try to explain it. So, like, so normally with Nurse, you're going to want to use your first blink, which is 20 meters. Okay. It's going to quit at the very end.
DPC. Now he's gone. So.
Are you streaming right now?
Yeah.
So I was gonna make, like, I do plan on making a Nurse guide, a very in-depth one, but I haven't done it. I haven't started because of how she's bugged right now, the FOV. Because I don't want to, like, start making a guide when she's not in her normal state, when she's broken. And then have to explain in the guide, like, oh, well, Nurse is not normal, her FOV is not normally like this, but, you know, we're making this. Like, no, I would just rather wait till hopefully they fix her soon and she's normal. But let me try to explain this, right? So normally you would use your first blink for traveling the map, and your second blink, you actually don't want to use your second blink unless you know you can get a hit with it. And this is like, this messed me up for so long with Nurse, Because I would waste my second blink all the time and just try to go for like, I don't know, like I guess you'd say like cheeky hits or something. Like I would try to just go for hits that were like, if you landed them, it'd be like, wow, that was awesome. But if you missed them, it'd be, you'd lose a lot of distance and waste time. So anyway, this is something that really hasn't sunk in until very recently with me, but don't use your second blink unless you know you're in a range where you can land it. Because when you use your second blink, you are going into a longer fatigue. And then on top of that, if you swing and miss, you're adding another second on. So all of this like piles up. 2 blinks is a longer fatigue than 1, and then a missed swing is a even longer fatigue. So what you basically want to do is like use your first blink to try to catch up, and then just eat the stun and don't blink again. Get your 2 blinks back and go again with your first blink, because first of all, your first blink covers 20 meters and your second one only covers 12 at the max. So ideally, you want to use that first blink to kind of catch up to survivors, and then keep your second blink and don't use it. Get 2 blinks back and use your first one again. And keep trying to place your first blink in a spot where, and you don't want to like over blink, and don't blink to where you think they're going to be, but you want to like right kind of behind them. Oh, here's a nurse. What do you know?
I think someone tried to join as we joined this lobby, and it's a gross ass nurse.
Well, this is what we're talking about, so let's play it. I mean, it's going to be a little different on the survivor end.
The nurse is so OP. She's gonna murder me, trolling. No?
Let's see. Anyway, the point I was getting at is on Leary's, it's actually a little different. Like, you always want to try to wait to have 2 blinks, but on Leary's, if you wait to have 2 blinks, a lot of times you're going to lose line of sight and lose track. So on that map, you actually don't want to necessarily always wait for your second blink. You just want to use your first one to catch up, to put you in a spot where you have line of sight. And in that map, it's different than all the others because you have to use your sound and you have to actually kind of do prediction blinks, which are the hardest.